I want to ask you something. If nobody else's opinion existed, would your life still look the same? Would you still be doing the job you're doing? Would you still be chasing the same goals? And would you still stay quiet in situations where you really wanted to speak? Because I think one of the biggest invisible battles that people fight isn't with confidence, it's with permission. Permission to finally live a life that feels like it's their own. Because somewhere along the way, so many of us stopped asking, what do I want? And they started asking, what will everyone else think? And maybe you've noticed it. You'll change parts of yourself depending on who's around. And you'll hold back on your opinion because you don't want to upset anyone. You say yes even when everything inside of you wants to say no. You'll chase goals that don't even feel like they're yours anymore. You'll compare yourself to people online. You'll compare your success, your relationships, your body and your progress. And eventually you become so focused on everybody else's expectations that you lose sight of your own. Then one day you wake up feeling disconnected from yourself. Not because you've changed, but because you spent so long trying to become someone that everyone else will accept. So I don't actually think that approval is the problem, because every human being, they want to feel accepted. That's normal. The battle starts when acceptance becomes more important than authenticity, because the moment that you start making decisions to avoid disappointing other people, you slowly begin disappointing yourself. And the difficult thing is, it doesn't just happen overnight. It happens one small decision at a time, one opinion that you don't share, one opportunity that you don't take, and one dream that you quietly let go of, until eventually you don't recognise the person that's looking back at you anymore. So I used to think that confidence meant that you didn't care what anybody else thought. But I don't actually believe that that's even realistic, because we'll always care about the people that we love. So the real question isn't, do you care what other people think? The real question is, whose opinion have you started valuing more than your own? Because if everybody else's voice is louder than yours, eventually you'll struggle to even hear yourself at all. And I think that is where so many people are living. They've become experts at reading everybody else's expectations, but they're strangers to their own. The biggest shift that I ever made was realising not everybody has to understand my life. And also, not everyone has to agree with the direction that I'm taking. Because it's impossible to build your own life whilst you're constantly asking for permission to live it. And here's something that I've learned. Every decision is going to disappoint someone. Before you make your next big decision, pause and ask yourself this. If nobody could judge this decision, what would I honestly choose? Then compare that answer to the choice that you're about to make. Because that gap is usually where your invisible battle lives. It's not between right or wrong. It's between your truth and everybody else's expectations. And I also want you to notice something else. Every time you catch yourself saying, I should, stop and ask yourself, who says I should? Is that actually your belief, or is that just something that you've inherited? Because so many people spend their whole lives living by rules that they never consciously chose. So I don't think the goal is to necessarily stop caring what people think. I think the goal is to stop allowing everyone else's opinions to become the author of your life. Because the longer you live for everybody else, the harder it is to remember who you really are. So again, before you leave this video, I want to ask you one question. If the fear of judgment disappeared overnight, what is the first thing you would finally do? Because that's exactly where your real life begins. And don't forget to drop a comment below, because I read everyone. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so the next one finds you when you need it. My name's Harley. Do the work, trust the process, and I'll see you in the next one.